Oh, I don't know. What do you think today? It's Hope Day. We're here again. That's right. Kind of reminds me of Tibia. Day in, day out. They. Oh, Lord. You know, I hearken back to that kid that was in kindergarten when I asked him how kindergarten was going, and he goes, "School is fine, but do you have to do it every day?" I always thought that was great. Anyways, I'm Ann Eller. How you doing this morning? My goodness, there is a lot to talk about. Well, there's always a lot to talk about. That's right. Day in, day out. We just keep going. All right. Anyways, let's see. What shall we start out talking about here this morning? I've already gone live. Just decided from a time efficiency thing. What the heck? Let's just go live. I was running a little bit behind. I got to tell you, the pain in my butt is much better. It's much, much better. So I feel like I'm on the mend, which is taking a lot out of you when you're hobbling around to walk. It really does make a difference. And standing in a buffet line for food, I almost passed on it yesterday because I was like, I don't really care about eating. And then I thought, well, I should get something. So, of course, I'm talking about the state of the city and the county. The annual meeting with the chamber was over at Harris Baptist Church. It was a good meeting. Got to one of the reasons I like to go. All the people that show up. That's right, that show up for the event. So got to see a lot of people I haven't seen in a while. That was great. I think that I think that the county and the city part where they talk about things where questions have to be submitted, and your county and city officials already have the questions and have their kind of pre-scripted answers already done, may serve a purpose for some. For me, I'd like them just to talk to us, just to talk and just be able to say what's on their mind. When somebody asks a question, and if they can't answer the question, do what anybody does in that. I'll get back to you. Can somebody get this person's name, and I'll make sure to get that answer. But that's not how they do it. They like to have pre-scripted questions. They like to I'm going to say push a narrative that they want the public to hear instead of maybe the questions that people really have. Now, from their perspective, I'm sure I could make a case for the other side of it too. And that's okay. I'm just giving you my personal opinion. Most of the questions have actually already been answered once before. However, one of the things that I did find out, and this was our county manager, Toby Chappell, talking about the Harris Landing, which I think it needs a little more investigation. They're saying Toby Chappell was saying yesterday, I believe only 42 property owners have signed up to get to have city water rather than well water. And so they said they need to look at that because evidently CPW is having some questions about the validity of running the water out there. So now I believe, if I'm doing this from memory, I believe this was a 2016 project from the capital sales tax, So that one perked my ears up, and we'll have to do a little more investigation on that. But basically, unless you are just not paying attention, every week that all these meetings happen, the county council meeting, the city council meeting. I'm not sure we learned anything really new. I did think that was noteworthy because after the big rush to get this done, there hasn't been much said about it, but I guess much hasn't been happening of it. So that needs to be looked at, and we need to find out why are the people not. I know there is a fee for people to have to get hooked into the water source, from the city. Or from CPW. So, anyways, other than that, I'm not sure I heard anything earth-shattering. But then again, I may have missed something because I was jabbering. But that's my take on yesterday. Lots of people there. Good to see a lot of the people. It's good to know that Robbie Templeton is getting noticed for his little videos, thanking everybody every week for the capital sales tax project. And I believe it was slipped out of the bag here that Robbie's doing a video today or tomorrow, whatever, and it will be released, on his Friday. And I don't know who he'll be with. Maybe he's with the mayor, maybe not, but the mayor, I believe, brought it up, Mayor Brandon Smith, about the new Grace Street Park, and they will be having the grand opening for that. What is that, next Thursday? Is it let's see, I've got it written down here. So anyways, really excited about that park up there. 4 p.m. on Thursday the 6th will be the opening of the ribbon cutting for Grace Street Park. So I just thought I would, put that out there. I'm Ann Eller. How you doing this morning? Had an excellent interview yesterday afternoon with Kelly McWater of Discover, Executive Director of Discover Greenwood, and with Chip Tinsley, who is head of the Greenwood 250 Commission here for our county. There is so much history, and I know that most people just go ho-hum to history. And I was a ho-hummer. I gotta admit it. I saw no purpose. If I'd known what I was going to end up doing today, I might have paid attention. But at that point of my life, being a impertinent student and then ending up as an impertinent college student, I saw no purpose to history. I don't care what they told me. I didn't like it. I didn't want to learn about it. It was a waste of my time. Oh well. Now I sit there and struggle so many times. I struggle so many times because I am constantly harking back or having to look up what happened and why this is important. So my word to anybody who's ever said that, I feel your pain. I wish I'd paid more attention. I wish somebody had sat down and explained to me, we need to understand history, Anne, because otherwise we may repeat it. And if they'd repeated to me some of the stupid things I'd done in my life, that I didn't want to repeat again, I could have understood it. So I know that, and one of the good points that I thought Chip Tinsley made yesterday was the fact that while we expect our schools to teach our children everything, they have standards that they teach to. And it is up to us as parents and grandparents and aunts and uncles and everything to tell the stories, to make some of the things that they learn about in school real. For example, let's take Woodstock. I didn't get to go, but I know all about it because I was very interested in it, right? And so if we can make our history relevant to our children, and it doesn't have to necessarily be the 250th anniversary of the United States of America, but if we know some history and we can make it personal to our family tree. I mean, why do people get so interested in Ancestry.com and everything? I think a lot of it is to find out that they had a relative who was so important to the revolution or to this. They were on this ship, or how did they die? All these things become important and a story to tell. And so is it with the SC-250. They are wanting to tell a story, and of course, I actually never realized how important South Carolina was to the revolution. So, it was a great conversation yesterday afternoon. We talked about First Blood, which of course is what happened over there in the Battle of 96 at the fort over there. We talked about the upcoming events that'll be happening at the on November 14th and 15th. This is where they're going to have their quarterly meeting, and then they're going to have some events on Saturday. Hopefully this thing called a shutdown will be over, and things will start, the money will start flowing. You know, some people have said we're saving money. We're not saving money on this thing. By the way, we're wasting a lot of our precious time, and that is another issue. But SC-250, the Battle of 96, prelude to the Southern Campaign. I think most people don't realize how important as a South Carolinian, how important South Carolina is. So, I hope you will go back and watch that one. It's on Facebook right now, WCRS 98.5 FM /1450 AM. Just when you go there, click on videos, and you'll see my mug and the mug of a lot of people that have been on with me right here on WCRS. Don't like going on to Facebook? You can go to, let's see, today's one. By tomorrow, I expect Chip Tinsley and Kelly McWater will be on our website, WCRS1450am.net. And therefore, if you want to watch it, you can watch it right there. So, lots of opportunity to watch it, lots of good conversation, lots of planning and ideas going forth on Greenwood. It's as Chip said, we may not have had a lot of gory battles, although 96 is considered part of the area, so we do add that. But we do have a lot of famous people from our area. And of course, back in the very beginning, there wasn't even a Greenwood. So there you go, another little news nugget for you. So check that video out. Watch it with your kids. It's great. It's really great. And we're going to have Chip back to come back and tell us a little more history sometime real soon. All right, so coming up on the 14th and the 15th, it will be their meeting. Also, if you'd like to check out some of the events that are happening, all you have to do is go to SC250, I think it's sc250.org, and they'll tell you about all the events across the state. And of course, there's lots in Charleston, Gaffney, Lawrence. I mean, there's events all across the state. So if you're looking for something fun to do, check that out. So, they are going to have quite a great event coming up here in Greenwood. On the 14th, it is a meeting of their quarterly meeting of SC250, and that will That will be on Friday, and it'll be at the Inn on the Square. And yes, you can go to it, and we'll talk more about that later. And then on Saturday, they hope that the park will be totally open. If not, they're still going to be able to use the park to go through and talk about it. So let's move forward right now and talk about some other things that are good. All right. Some of the things I want to talk about this morning. Trump and the gifts. Trump and the gifts. That's right. Trump has been racking up some gifts here. And yesterday he received, or I guess it was early this morning, he received a crown. Now, I have not checked the news this morning, but I am sure that this is going to be a topic of discussion for all the haters who say that he's a king. And I'm trying to figure out why the South Korean president decided to give him a crown. You know, could be where things are lost in translation. I can see the South Koreans looking at what was going on over here in the United States about kings and this, that, and the other. And so they probably said, oh, he would like a crown. Let's give him a crown. We've got beautiful crown. So this is what happened. I cannot imagine. I can't wait to see what the haters do with this. All right, the crown. Okay, so he met with South Korean President Lee Jae-myung in a historic city of wherever ahead of the Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation APEC Summit as the two countries advanced a trade investment framework worth up to $350 billion, covering reduced auto tariffs and cooperation on shipbuilding and semiconductors. The crown, then he was given a gift. The crown gift is rich in symbolism. Yes, it is. I just don't think they realize the symbolism that they put out there, or maybe they did. Scylla's gold was tied to a long era of peace, and South Koreans' message is clear. They're signaling a golden age in U.S.-Korean ties. He was given this beautiful crown, and so that's why this gift is, to me, so funny. It was the President Lee awarded Trump the Grand Order of Mokawanga. I have no idea if I said that right. South Korea's highest national decoration in recognition of his role as a peacemaker. And so that was one. And then in addition, they received a replica of a golden crown found in the Silla-era tomb, symbolizing peace and shared history. Now, what I saw last night, I didn't realize this was going to be a replica. I thought they actually gave him a crown, like they had 5 or 6 of them maybe that they'd had, and they decided, oh, we need to give him crown. He likes being king. But that's not what it is. It is supposed to be a replica. The one they were showing last night was in a case, a see-through case and everything. So I'm thinking, oh my God, the symbolism today will just be over the top. Can't wait to see what The View does with that one today. Anyways, I'm sure it has. I'm sure it has over the top and will be, even though I haven't checked anything this morning. I can just see Trump last night saying when he went to, I don't know what, let's see, they were up. When he gets to go to bed, he's probably walking around with the crown everywhere. They probably said, no, sir, we'll put it with your stack of things you're taking back. And he goes, no, I'll carry the crown. Oh my God, just to drive the haters mad, just to drive the haters madly away. Anyways, this is, while it's a very, very nice gift, I just wonder how it'll be reinterpreted here in the U.S. All right, so he has done an amazing job with all the trade deals and everything. I just think he has done a great, great, great job. All right, so that's President Trump over there. I think we still are into a shutdown. I looked this up yesterday afternoon. I was talking to somebody, and I wanted to see what the shutdown, how many days, what's the longest shutdown that we have had, because now I'm beginning to think that maybe maybe the Democrats are going for the longest shutdown. I think the longest shutdown was back in 2018, 2019. It was when Trump was president, and I believe it went 35 days. So that being said, that would put it after the 6th, the 7th, something like that. If they're going for some other reason, well, I don't know. But I just thought I would mention that. Yesterday, what happened in the state? Well, with the SNAP benefits being curtailed, they say there is no money. The agricultural department decided they could not move some money around that they thought they would have. They have said there will be no SNAP benefits as of November 1st if this isn't resolved. And it doesn't look to me like it's going to be resolved. Okay, given that as a point of view, I know a lot of people are saying that, we're going to do food banks, we're going to do all these things. And I even mentioned some of the groups that were out there. I think it's terrific, and I think it's what the purpose is of course to feed people. But the one thing that's not really being discussed is the fact that how this will affect the economy if SNAP benefits do not go through. In November, SNAP, EBT payments, if they don't go out, South Carolina, what it means in South Carolina, about $104 million a month normally flows to South Carolina's families via SNAP. If that stops in November, that spending vanishes from grocery store checkouts. This means that we're not pumping money into the economy, folks. Using USDA standard multiplier, that's roughly $160 million in total economic activity at risk for the month. Those SNAP dollars typically support about 1,400 jobs in South Carolina in a normal month. Grocery, retail, food distribution, transportation. That estimate scales the USDA jobs figure at almost $1 billion, $1 billion in SNAP to South Carolina, that's nationally, to about, I don't know what that means. But those SNAP dollars typically support 1,400 jobs in South Carolina in a normal month. Food banks will get slammed. We already know that. Food banks are already being slammed. The governor has already activated the 1SC fund and directed support to food banks. But officials note that private relief is tiny compared to monthly SNAP benefits. Expect longer lines and depleted shelves, and charity can't replace what SNAP does for the economy of each of our states. Retailers will feel it immediately. Independent grocers and rural stores, when a high share of sales are SNAP, see sharp foot traffic drops, which can also hit local suppliers. SCDSS has warned counties and clients to expect no November issuance absent federal funding. States have been told they won't be reimbursed if they front the money. So the states are in a quandary. Some states might like to say, or, it might have been a consideration, we would go ahead if we know we're getting paid back by the federal government. Well, South Carolina DSS has said they don't expect to be able to reimburse it. So this is huger, really, I think, than anything else we have going as far as the effect on the economy. Did you know 42 million people use SNAP each month? And I know some of you are saying, well, that's part of the problem. Yes, it is part of the problem. We do have people that don't need to be on SNAP. Absolutely. But until you can figure it out, and some of this stuff should have been figured out. 42 million people use SNAP each month. For the fiscal year 2024, federal SNAP benefits totaled about, this is in 2024, $100 billion. A November halt puts $8 billion of purchasing power out of grocery stores in one shot. Using multipliers, that's 12 to 14 billion in monthly economic activity at risk if the pause persists. Now, this is on the national picture. I read you what South Carolina was. Expect lower grocery sales, softer retail hours and pay, and spill over to transportation, warehousing, and food manufacturing. Food banks are already warning they cannot backfill what SNAP provides. So while I think that we need to do whatever we can to help people get fed, the effects of this SNAP program, EBT program, not flowing the money out there it's like it pumps money into the system. People get SNAP benefits, they have to buy them at grocery stores, etc. And this is what, there's a song. Money makes the world go round, the world go around. We may not like it, but what are going to be the effects on our food and grocery system with this looming? And it's November 1st. If this doesn't happen, I happen to know that some of the people that normally work with DSS and this type of thing, they are very slow. Things have slowed to a crawl. I know we'd like to say, wow, well, that's great. Is it great? It is great if the economy is ready for the change. But to just slam the brakes on like this is not great for the economy. And I wonder the long-term effects of even taking 1 month or 1 week or 2 weeks out of this program. I do absolutely agree something needs to be done. We don't need to be pumping out money that is not going to the people that really need it. But I'm not sure that many people have thought about the long-term effects or the effect it'll have on the economy, particularly as we go into the holiday season. Expect lower grocery sales, softer retail hours, pay, and spillovers to transportation, warehousing, and food manufacturing. Food banks are already warning they cannot backfill what SNAP provides. This isn't theoretical. USDA has posted that no federal food aid will go out November 1st during the shutdown, and major outlets are reporting states delaying halting issuance. So, where we're headed there, Oh, that's right. You are listening to WCRS. If you got a question or a comment about what I'm talking about this morning, you know I'd love to hear from you. 864-332-9355. That's 864-332-9355. Go ahead and tell me what you're thinking. Am I am I off base? Do you think we should not, that this is a good thing? And what effect will this have on our economy with SNAP benefits? Nobody's putting any money out there. The only thing they are trying to do is make sure that people are fed. I believe they have figured out a way that they will be paying the military, so that's a good thing on November 1st. But we're now into, by the end of the month, we'll be at 30 days. As I said, the other longest one was back, other longest shutdown was in 18 and 19, I believe, and it was 35 days. Not sure what the Democrats' issue is. Are they trying to do something more? I don't know, but we will check that out. All right, so that's a little bit on the national level. We talked a little bit about our discussion yesterday with Kelly McWhorter and Chip Tinsley. That was very interesting in America 250. Today, I am really excited because my very special guest is our new superintendent for District 50. Shane Goodwin will be joining me. Now, he's getting lots of kudos out there in the district. He certainly has been out there, and one of his mantras is that he wants to listen, which may be interesting if I'm supposed to be interviewing him. But we'll see how that goes. I'm interested in hearing what he has to say about what he feels about how the district, how he sees the district, what he sees the future. I know they got some good reports on some numbers, on some testing and this type of thing. But I am interested in hearing what he has to say. So I think this may be a challenge since he likes to listen and so do I. How's this going to work out? I'm not really worried. I think it's going to be a great discussion. We've talked about doing this. He wanted to have a little bit of time on the ground before he came on to address our listeners. So tune in this afternoon. That'll be at 5 o'clock today. 5 o'clock today. So that's what I have to say about that. Now, I did have a couple of other things I wanted to discuss. By the way, Democratic lawmaker announces 2026 South Carolina governor's run. We have Jermaine Johnson of Hopkins, South Carolina, has announced his bid for the 2026 Democratic gubernatorial nomination. I also believe he will be here in Greenwood at the big event they usually have with the our Democratic friends. The John Drummond dinner, I believe it is. I read that last night, so he will be coming here for that. So the businessman educator formed an exploratory committee earlier this year to consider a campaign, and I guess he's decided to go ahead and do this. From expanding economic opportunity, improving education, to advocating for criminal justice reforms and protecting working families, I've stood side by side with South Carolinians through every challenge. He said that was when he was teasing his potential run this May, but he says, Johnson cited his rise from financial hardship to athletic and civil success in a statement formalizing his candidacy. Every step of my journey, from homelessness to the State House, has been guided by fearless faith, faith that rises, to meet every challenge with purpose. Today I'm announcing my campaign for governor of South Carolina. Our best days are ahead. I certainly hope so. He is 39, currently represents South Carolina House District 52. Due to redistricting, he has served 3 terms in the South Carolina House, representing 3 different districts, knocking off multiple Democratic incumbents in the process. A former star basketball player at the College of Charleston, he was drafted by the NBA's Developmental League and played professionally in France, Mexico, Hungary, and Canada. Sounds like an interesting guy. I must admit, I know very little about him. During his collegiate career, he scored more than 1,100 points and grabbed more than 850 rebounds, one of only 4 players in school history to hit those marks. He also scored the very first points in Charleston's TD Arena during his junior season with the Cougars back in 2008. So, although Johnson has overcome near insurmountable odds before, he is under no illusions that a run for governor as a Democrat in South Carolina will be easy. So he says in a message sent to supporters shortly after announcing his run, Johnson noted that the Palmetto State has had 30 years of one-party rule. So we'll just have to see how this works out. I think we would like to have him come on and be on the air with us, see if we can get him to come to Greenwood and sit down for a discussion. I think that would be very interesting. So that's another thing that is out there in the news. And by the way, did you know that today is National Cat Day? That's right, National Cat Day. Share your pictures of cats all over Facebook. That's I just thought I would share that in case you didn't know. If you've got a picture of your cat and you're on Facebook or any of the other social medias, you better go ahead and share that. Did you know that cats have a long history in the Oval Office? Abraham Lincoln loved cats and brought 2, one named Tabby and Dixie, to the White House. So there you go. Tabby and Dixie. I did not know that. Tabby and Dixie were the cats that were brought to the White House by President Abraham Lincoln. All right. These are some of the things that are out there in the news, and I am always privileged to bring some of these things to you. I want to check one more thing because I had one more thing I thought I'd like to talk about here this morning. Let's see if I can find it. Let's go right here. Fall colors, by the way, are still going to be good this weekend, particularly in the lower mountains. So maybe not at the high peaks, but in the lower mountains, the color could be good. And with the rain being out of here, should be a great weekend. And of course, don't forget, this is the end of daylight savings time, so it is fall back. You got to fall back, folks, and that's okay. You get an extra hour of sleep, and you feel all energized, don't you? Because you get up early, you feel good, then you get into the routine, and it's just like, it's still the same 24 hours. All right. Anyways, anybody got any comments this morning? 864-332-9355, 864-332-9355. Would love to hear from you if you've got any comments about Trump's Asian trip, the SNAP benefits. Many people, I don't think they're not really talking much about what the effect of the SNAP benefits is going to have. So I did want to mention that. I think that is important. There was another story that I wanted to share with you this morning that I just found out about. Let's try this. And while we've got a chance, let's go ahead and do let's get the weather here, see what we got for weather. The weather is whatever the weather will be. Right now, 48 degrees, feels like 46. Looks like drizzle early, then remaining cloudy with periods of rain developing for the afternoon. High of 56, chance of rain 70%, 70%. So we are socked in for today. Tomorrow on Thursday, it is a high of 61, low of 39, and we are looking for mainly sunny skies tomorrow. Friday, Football Friday, looks like a high of 65, low of 36. We are looking for plentiful sunshine. Saturday comes in with a high of 67, low of 40 degrees. By the way, that'll be November 1st. And on Sunday, high of 67, low of 46, and partly cloudy skies. So we're looking at some good weather. Next week will be in the mid-60s all week long, and the mid to lower 40s. And maybe a little rain on Monday and Tuesday, but the rest of the week is looking pretty darn good. So we're definitely into fall weather. All right, there are some cool events that I wanted to make sure that you know about. One of them is, okay, here we go. One of them is the chess exhibition that's going to be going on. There's a big chess exhibition over at Polaris. They will be running up to 20 people playing chess with the master at one time. This is over at Polaris, and that's at 205 Edgefield Street. This is a big deal. This happened maybe a couple of years ago. I think the first year that Polaris opened, and evidently it was a big success. So this is going on Thursday, 4:30 to 5:30. Players sign in, and you've got to pay a little fee to do this, all of $10. So very affordable if you are wanting to play chess with one of the masters here that is coming to town. 6 p.m. they're doing a little lecture by visiting National Master Mike Saylor. 7 p.m. they will begin the 20 people playing chess with him at one time. This is very, very cool. So I hope you will get out there. If you don't want to play and you just want to come and watch, that would be okay too. So check that out. Chess exhibition, that is Thursday, October 30th. 4:30 to 5:30 sign in. 6 p.m. is the lecture. 7 p.m. the games begin. And this is at 2005 Edgefield Street right here in Greenwood. So that's a good event coming up. Also, I've been talking about this all week. This is a really, really, really big event. This free legal clinic that the Valor program is going to be over there at the Veterans Center on Thursday from 9 to 2. Here's the only catch. You gotta call and make an appointment. It is not just walk-ins. When they did walk-ins, what they found is people ended up waiting for hours to try to get to talk to somebody. So they set it up so they could do appointments. All you got to do is call them at 864-450-9268. This is free for veterans and spouses. You can have, if you do not have a basic will, they'll do one for you right there on the spot. If you do not have a living will and you want one, they will do it on the spot. Do you need a power of attorney? They'll do that. Now, other topics they can discuss with you, but these are things that they'll be prepared to do right then and there. Of note, I know I have said this many times before, You do need to get your will updated. If you have moved from another state where you had the will, it needs to be a South Carolina will if you are, what shall we say, planning to die right here in South Carolina when that day comes. So give them a call, 864-450-9268. That's 864-450-9268. You will be glad that you did. So, spouses and veterans, great opportunity. Please take advantage of that one. Now, there are some, Piedmont Agency on Aging is doing their Meals on Wheels, their Christmas holiday bags. We'll talk more about that, but that is a big project that they undertake every year. They do have to have all the items in by December 5th, and they would love to. I don't have time. We'll talk about that one another day. Also coming up at Care of the Piedmont at the hospice store on Friday, November 7th, at 9 a.m., they are doing a free breakfast for veterans. It says, please respond by November 3rd. So that is what I have, and they have an email address, mgeddes@hospicepiedmont.org. Now, I also know, although I don't seem to have it, let's see if I can find it here real quick. I thought I had that here. The Girl Scouts are doing an interesting project to help our veterans, and the parade is on the 9th. That is right before Veterans Day. That is on Sunday. The Veterans Parade is, let's see, it's 2 p.m., I believe. Veterans Day Parade, Sunday, November 9th. Rain date, Sunday, November 16th. Parade at 2 p.m. The parade will begin at the South Main Street Baptist Church and proceed up Main Street, ending at Hampton Shopping Center. Register your organization to march in the Veterans Day Parade. Call George Watson at 864-229-0726. 864-229-0726. Show your support from the sidelines. We're asking the entire Greenwood community to line the streets and cheer on our veterans. So that is on Sunday, November 9th. Now we also, let's see if I have this right here. I don't seem to have picked that up off the printer. Here we go. They are going to have a program that the Girl Scouts are doing. The Veterans Day local Girl Scouts from Greenwood and Abbeville are putting their core values of compassion, service, and community action into meaningful practice. As part of a special service project, the Girl Scout troops, will be collecting new winter hats and gloves to support veterans in need, ensuring they stay warm during the colder months ahead. The collection will take place during the annual Veterans Day Parade on Sunday, November 9th, in Uptown Greenwood, where Girl Scouts from Greenwood and Abbeville will be walking the parade route, pulling decorated wagons, and collecting donations of new winter hats and gloves from parade goers. So this is, the girls will be accepting contributions directly along the route as they honor our veterans through this act of kindness. This project is more than just collecting items. It's about showing appreciation and care for those who have served our country, said Becky Gardner, a troop leader involved in organizing the effort. We want our Girl Scouts to understand the importance of giving back, especially to those who gave so much. So, this is the winter gear will be donated to the Greenwood Veterans Center to make certain for those who served our nation are not forgotten during the colder season. This project is just one of the many ways Girl Scouts across South Carolina from the mountains to the Midlands are demonstrating leadership, empathy, and active citizenship. So, if you are planning on going to the parade, if you would like to get your children to understand the importance of giving back, see if you can buy a hat, gloves, whatever you can do. They would prefer brand new, and then bring them to the parade route, and they will be collecting them right during the parade. This is the Girl Scouts of Greenwood and Abbeville. So that is a cool idea. So I hope that you will participate in that and helping with that. That is November 9th. The parade is at 2 p.m. Of course, we do have some other events happening. Hairspray has gotten a lot of good reviews going on. It is a big event that goes on through this weekend. Hairspray is a lot of fun, lively, and you're going to want to go see Hairspray. Check that out at the Greenwood Community Theater, 864, what is their number, 229. Got my good old board here. It's the big board. Yes, it is. Where is that telephone number for the Greenwood Community Theater? I was right. 229-5704. That's 229-864. 229-5704. Make sure that you get your tickets to that and enjoy. It's great. All right. Also, coming up this weekend, Piedmont Tech is having their Hill Skills event, their craft fair. That's a big one. It's hard to believe that Saturday is November 1st. That's all I can say, that Saturday is November 1st. So that's coming up this weekend. Next weekend, it is the second year of the Tinsel and Treasure Sale. That's proceeds support the women's ministries of St. Mark's United Methodist Church. That will be noon to 2 and 4 to 6 on November 2nd. Preferred Shoppers Preview Sale. A $5 donation gets you a ticket and a holiday gift box. 9 to 5 on November 8th will be regular shopping. And noon to 2 on the 9th will be regular shopping. That is going to be at Founders Hall of St. Mark's United Methodist Church main campus. So there you go. That's going on. We've got all kinds of activities for veterans coming up. It's just the time of the year, isn't it, where we get so busy that we can't even see straight, right? Can't even see straight. But let's see, what else did I have that I wanted to talk about? We've talked about the chess coming up Thursday. We've got the Boo Bash, Uptown Greenwood. That is on Thursday, too. 5:30 to 7:30. Games, prizes, costume contests are all part of the fun. The chess is something that is very, very cool. We've talked about that. Now through Sunday at the Arts Center of Greenwood invites you to the 2025 show, A Local Look. Annual exhibition of local art is going on. This is living or working in Greenwood County who are members of the Greenwood Area Studio Potters, the Artist Guild, Greenwood Woodworkers Guild, and the Dolores Von Rosen Basketry Guild. Hairspray, as we said, is coming up this weekend. If you're for a road trip, Saturday and Sunday, head to historic Hopkins Farm in Simpsonville for the third Everything Outdoors Fest. Learn about off-roading, adaptive sports, and enjoy live music. Visit everythingoutdoorfest.com. That is from the Index Journal. And, of course, we've got music, and more music everywhere. Now let me switch over here and let me switch over here and see what else we have. In 96, they are having Masquerade at the Park. That is Friday from 5:30 to 7:30. The town of 96 time, 5:30 to 7:30 at 96 Town Park. So that is another one. I tell you what, it is just unbelievable how many events are going on. Trick-or-treating has been going on for weeks, I think, for weeks. But it's cool. It's great. And I hope everybody gets out there and has a great time doing all the fun things that we have to do. I'm going to give it up right now. I hope you will join us this afternoon, 5 to 6. Shane Goodwin, Superintendent of District 50, will join me. We're going to have quite a conversation about him. I know he likes to be a good listener, but I want to talk about him. So we're going to be talking about him. We're going to be talking about what's happening in the school district, what things he sees. I'm looking forward to it. Hope you will be here with us on WCRS 5 to 6, live on Facebook as well as live on the radio. That is going to do it for me. Have a great day. Thanks so much for tuning in. Curtain is going down, down, down. And we will cue the music. And I'll be back this afternoon. Bye-bye, everybody.